they lose the mid game, and then they do some crazy
Morphling in that game. They won a game with the Drip out on this very panel earlier, Slacks.
I mean,
he's cynical about anything.
Weren't you shit talking?
and then he got the change where he
Protection, and then you just
morph right before they're stunned, whereas in action time. So sure, Pro
Master, which is going to give you a big late game advantage because and Morphling and Beastmaster.
Cheesy SF, and they lost.
They did.
This
and
is
he went like He went to SNY. I heard Brax talking about maybe she had E-Blade. Nobody on EG had BKB, so they had vision advantage with Beastmaster.
Against you, but the Queen of Pain did less than 30K. He was just shouting.
Let me guess.
I didn't watch that game. I mean, this is. Oh, no.
Or something.
No, I had yet to that game. She truly did shine.
Playing Quap.
That's wrong for the first time.
Yeah, well, go Complexity. Complexity and OG. Okay. Well, they're going to be playing up there in that little GSL group, which means the winner of that this beautiful game.
Going to be playing. Are currently playing.
Yeah. Winner won in group hip match.
Are we allowed to use Dota TV?
Conundrum, fellas.
Tough. So that's a Moo Pangolier.
Monkey King picked up by OG. Oh. We look at the beautiful bracket of Gree, and loser of that will be
yeah, whoever loses that is 0-2. They get 4th seed. That means they're going to bid because it's single elim. So
who comes 3rd or 4th? So they could
a little
best
bit
of one.
Gambly, best of chances. So
like, what if EG just loses the first?
Yeah.
In fact,
really?
I don't say that teams are. I mean, it's just this made-up thing that we. EG just lost against Complexity. We might see a Pain Gaming victory.
So well, too. Does anyone I think Pain is? They would be the players they're most familiar with, and probably so.
Wouldn't you also say that like Pain would do better against maybe a Chinese style or the heroes they pick?
True,
or
that could also.
Were people from Southeast Asia because they cards. The wild card theory.
Still a lot of South American players play on UIC. They're somewhat compared to the other example where on the ladder and may never meet.
Lands.
So up next, Secret Stream. How are we feeling out of Group Horse? So
by most people, right? Secret and excited to see it. Kind of been waiting for it.
It could be close. It could see some play style are always going to be a huge thing in Captain's Draft. The strategies can be one team may be forced to. I mean, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, and this is probably his huge pool. And then you also it's a big pool, but it's also very good, very versatile team despite how strong he is. He got to watch out for that guy.
Yeah,
cost a lot of.
Our other group, beautiful hippo and horse.
What are the American ones?
That's a donkey and a hippo. Oh, it's a horse.
Yeah, it's like a donkey and an elephant, right?
Yeah.
What would your animals be?
Giant, fat male used for utility. It's great.
Pounding that lower.
Can you hear me?
I was thinking about that was like a reset. You said like the perfect.
I'm excited for this next series because I feel like Secret really lucked out in their first series. I like Heroes in Captain's Draft, and they had all. This one they might not be so lucky. I mean, drafts at this point, if it doesn't go. Looking pretty good with their versatility.
Pretty soon it was scheduled to start about our admin crew being led by the Beat Invitational folks. We've done some show matches, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah, Bill's going to be hard to get a hold of or something and is currently taking the elevator.
We have a little break there, get some lunch. So there was a sanctioned 15 too long, but I am excited. I really like why it's stressful for teams and it's not ideal. For a spectator, best of one is
and then you go from qualifier just never that exciting. It's it's just a means to an end. If someone
I have a lot of memories of TIs like that. If there's 4 games going on at once, I have care about this so we can get to the bracket
results and wins most games. I would say that stuff's maybe not and
that's true.
Develop a meta. It's we look at heroes ignored or picked or yeah, that's usually the best part about group constant 24/7.
What? I'm a Dota fiend. People don't watch them, but I like them a lot. Probably like them too,
Yeah.
I get to see these guys. They're crazy. So I'm like, oh, they picked this because they didn't want to reveal lone
conspiracies, I think, ever. There's a little crazy pocket pick. You don't pull it out in game 1, but sense there's no elusive. Don't show them that we can play Huskar. Oh, God. You're just
you win 2 games and you're like
playoff bracket.
I try not to say something.
This is how we get content out of you.
Panel, and we brought that up all jolly. And things ever said on Dota panels, it's their best shit. And that's the end of it. Shut up. And I was like, Brax,
he's not going to be like, you guys are
he's throwing shade.
Roswell, they're just cover that shit up.
That's true.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
I have a little gift for you.
What's that?
Okay. They are so exclusive, you're not going to be able to winners.
Wow.
What a great camera angle.
Go ahead and open it up, buddy.
What year do you think it is?
Yeah, I know. Order these things 8 months ago.
You think it's not 2017?
It's 2018. Get that thing away from me.
Well, I was hoping there would be a match.
So the players
popular amongst the players that ordered them. I don't know how reliable of a
some weight.
Oh, was that quality?
Or mass in the fidget spinner. That means it spins the long.
Use that. It's like watching my mom use it.
No wonder they're expensive. And these Look, these things are.
Get the hell away
Folks,
from me.
This
you
is
freak.
the quality store. Moonduck.tv/get your merch. Okay,
Wow.
so where's this game? It's down there.
do you
Wow.
feel the-
This one, I learned this one at TI when they had. Ready?
All right.
All right, here we go. Oh, yeah.
So do you know why fidget spinners are spinning? When it's
Yeah,
spinning,
fire.
gyroscopic force. It's basically a gyroscope, right? So
Like
your
the
force is
butterfly
on.
effect. You're
It's-
creating a tornado.
It's like when you ride your bicycle really fast. If you lean at all,
Anyone
it'll.
who does, if you're going down the road,
Well, you
with
never
your
had to, like,
arms off,
yawn.
They yawn while you're.
I don't know.
What's
Sit
wrong
up,
with you?
sit up straight for like the.
Ah, yes.
What I'm trying to say is slacks. That's really all. It was really not that cool.
Little segment.
Science
with
made that
Purge.
good.
All right. So, what?
Whoa.
It's a Breaking Bad.
Remember, if you want to see some Dota
Okay.
2,
Why
Yeah,
would you
most
go
likely.
to stream
Yeah.
2 when you?
that's what we're here
high
for.
quality fidget spinners. Yeah. And
You know, I have
The
to
admin
confess,
is.
What's that?
the thing up perfectly straight. I think it's on a.
well, that's okay.
It's
Why
not.
would
hard
you
to
say
say.
that?
I'm a
Time I see it now it can bother everyone. It's not quite perfect.
So-
I think.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think so.
little.
You
looks
broke
a
the
little-
goal. Tell them when it's wrong.
Yeah, but I have to look at it too. And you know what, guys? I just want to say I'm sorry.
It's kind of hard. I mean,
Very
I
American.
was definitely
It's
basically.
true. Oh, he's got a tango and an eyelash. Oh, that's very nice.
He sure does.
like they didn't put the Moonduck logo here. Up here, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where to put it. That was
The
good.
hippo does not have a couple minutes here. Slacks.
That's
Looks like.
great.
Yep.
Here's my life. Finish up with good friend Suns fan. He says, "What do you do? Hanging out with my loved one. First Christmas with my new wife." And he said, "A captain's draft." The only thing he feeds me are hogs. I used to be so skinny before this event. I've literally only eaten eggs for the last 7 days. I cannot feel my extremities. And
Oh.
here we are. Thank you, Suns Fan TV.
That's not true. I got my.
McDonald's nuggets too. That's been my
Wow.
I could have eaten. Is not
Thank you for that heartwarming tale. And folks, remember .tv/CD4 up on the train and join us. There's still he needs a little perking up. This could be Mineski versus
Oh.
Secret. It's
kale. I've never had it before, but
Vegetables, guys.
Just kidding.
There's actually eating straight ground beef the whole time.
it's true.
Run
stop
through
eating
here.
the meat sticks.
We've got the like I think Ace used to play quite a bit of Timber.
Still made
We've lost
a lot
the
of good
Meepo.
supports here.
It's okay. They're a
Warlock?
little defensive. Like Dazzler's somewhere in there. Oh, is Earthsprit there?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably the best.
Rate.
Does it
God, I
really?
hate Pudge.
He
He's a
does.
pretty classic captain's draft hero too, because that second and third tier of each role. 4.
I saw a stat on Reddit that's 54% of all games in his one. Actually, I mean, that's what's going to happen, right? He's in a forever,
Yeah.
and now he's,
Can't take
of course,
it
he's going to
anymore,
get
dude.
drafted.
I played that there wasn't a Pudge. It's serious.
It's
player,
ironic
that's
how
beautiful.
you're talking about this as a Techies
Can you believe
player.
that? Yeah.
I win the game,
What?
which might ruin it for everyone else but me. Enchantress Bandit, are we in CIS Dota right now? What is this?
I believe that was the 18. Pick Enchantress or your other option.
What's with all the Razor and Quap heroes?
Oh, that's
outside
Storm
of Razor,
Spirit.
Quap, there.
Ember Spirit,
Oh, we got a
Viper.
Nyx.
Timbersaw.
Yeah, we called that
Poor
already.
Mineski.
Welcome to the broadcast, Slacks. Thanks
All
for
We're going.
Still
Yeah,
doing
I
it.
gotta get rid of this thing.
Spinning this whole
Well,
time.
you can't just give it. All right,
I mean,
anyway.
there's plenty of mid heroes that they could run plus matchups. At least 60% of these would be more than good.
There's a Tide Hunter. I'm very excited for that. That carry Tide stuff is
Pressure Ags on him, and
no, not just because that was just insane with that tanky Tide Hunter. They never. I think about it.
It was Fata.
Never forgot.
Ricky. It's kind of
Ricky
interesting.
bands?
And the Ricky band, it makes me think it's like anti-pick stuff like Quap. Initial impression.
They,
probably-
and I think a lot of teams in these modes, sometimes they'll just replace, like they'll do bounty around the map for creating space for someone who's split pushing a lot, like Bounty Ember or like Ricky Ember.
Interesting.
So Rasta is probably the biggest question. Mineski, I feel like they'll just take it first pick, is that off-lane pool is very open right now. I have this ability of putting it in other places, but yeah,
Because matchup like 1v1 stuff.
Phase Witch Doctor pick.
good hero.
He was played in a series on the other stream.
Yes. Hey.
I
Call
mean,
me.
he was like unpicked in Midas mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey, but Bristleback Magnus.
Man,
yes.
it's the classic combo.
Remember, first for Mineski, it would have been rather difficult secret. Plus, then you have to worry about for the rest of the whole draft anyway. So
First
I
pick.
think that's pretty safe. Like, mid heroes that are available. Gives
best
you
4
gank
left in the
potential.
pool. With a 4 left
Oh,
in the
okay.
pool. Naga.
That's actually the good point. The best 5 supports, unless you count CN.
Pudge is
Yep.
40.
But he's
But
Yeah,
wah,
eat shit,
wah.
Purge.
spawn. Come on. Pick though. If your opponents have like the maybe underappreciated ways that
I might hate Pudge in my games. It's gonna be
Pudge,
so
two very scourgy heroes.
Scourge and Sentinel.
They're both, yeah, they're No, they're just annoying. Like, they both have slow to play against. They fit that same kind of... It's like picking Viper and Venomancer together.
Razor, I guess. Is there any risk? I feel like that's the best matchup to just send.
I don't know if I'm so... Viper's okay against it.
Okay against Viper, right?
Yeah, Quap would be pretty good. Quap would be ungankable by Pudge, up around. So I could certainly see the Timbersaw as well, you know.
That's the Razor.
It's great. For the first 3 from Mineski.
Yeah.
Like, do they have like a Magnus plus one?
I mean, hypothetically, if Secret get like a 4-staff when the static links comes, but Razor certainly know a lot of it is magic now.
Hey, remember I do off lane Ember? Ooh, safe lane Ember. That was, excuse me. Yes.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Not really. It's armor. There's a lot of issues like that.
Yeah, I think.
Is this Secret maybe?
Maybe the Weaver instead. Offlane Queen, and then they go back for the Weaver.
I assume they just put Queen mid, I guess, against the
that, and then give the Viper safe lane, and then find some.
Get hit by unstable current. You just dagger and like.
I actually think Tide would be a good on stuns right now. Control though.
Can you can't hook through Song, right?
Just goes through.
Okay.
So that's probably our support duo, I would guess. The Pudge, kind of how I envision it, like the Puppy Naga.
The way the team matchups kind of look to me is like Secret, Kenzie, Mineski go in.
Kenzie.
Basically, would be their ideal. Then they should be able to reinitiate, maybe out of position, perhaps.
Their next cores.
Weaver matches up decently against either the Viper from Secret, and then you have Razor, who's kind of maneuver around that as a Weaver.
Yeah.
Damage. They don't have the best control either.
Projectile dodge, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just go invis to dodge it. But I'm not super sold on Weaver. I think it's all right. Then there's a lot of things that actually can kill him between Quap Orchid.
So I'm just wondering if we're undervaluing.
The Tidehunter's still just there. He would give him a ton of team fight. Doesn't have any.
The scary thing about Naga is like if they offset that with Song,
they're gonna mag Ember then. Is that the play?
That's boring.
I don't think that's worth it against like Viper Pudge are so high HP and Quap is.
So just go with the safety of the Tide.
It could also be haven't thought about, I suppose.
It's really.
I think No Tail played it earlier.
Really?
And there's been like the Shadow Blade Naga.
That actually sounds okay.
Yeah, the players are playing. I think it was like No Tail.
Sounds fun.
And
a lot of good defensive supports you can pair with the pup.
Yeah, they do go for the gyrocopters. They need more damage here.
Team fight this game mostly on the side of Team Secret. And then you kind of carapace to help like break.
Anyway, I really like Secret's draft gauge. Song ruins. This Lynx, he wants to fight. Ravage happens, they want to fight. They have all these things that go back in, and it looks pretty good for them. So I'm going to have to go with Secret.
With Mineski being really good disengage. I think they're kind of lacking in Naga support, Viper. I feel like on the other side of the map, so I feel like the other team is going to be able to hide in.
I would say if there's one thing they've been good at, though, is do the same thing with Puppy and allow him to do that. Or just sound like, why is this guy, like, how does he sound like, okay, this guy actually has ratings of the support position. I could see that still going fairly well for them. I don't feel that great about what happens if the Ravage doesn't go well. How does Strange with both those heroes trying to get into play? Best catch after Ravage is like, if he gets it, I don't know.
I think they just take fights when they have cooldowns. So
We'll see. I think late game, we'll see what they can do. With that,
thank you, friends. Sunfan here. Secret versus Mineski and first in group horse. They're the true horse.
You get to choose opponents between.
Well, it can be any of the teams technically. Empire, and then the winner of that will play the loot. Find that out.
Yeah.
I wish we had a ceremony for them choosing theory. And maybe it's not a theory. See, back in the day, I don't know if you remember this. We were to pick our opponent at some point. I thought it would be cool if we pretended we choose. We flip a coin, right? Random, according to everybody. Get no satisfaction. You know what I mean? There's not that mentality to.
No matter based on a coin toss.
I think you. But if you look at you get hyped up even more if you know somebody thinks you're bad. You know what I mean? You analytical. You wouldn't be affected by anything, right? You can feed down mid 10 times.
That's not true. Affected by how much you're draining.
I'm correct on this.
I know. I could see it.
What do you mean a little bit? It's literally a thing.
I could see it a lot.
Mid one in the mid. I'm going to cast a match with you yet with this new Viper, quote unquote new. Taking a lot of damage from the tower and a couple right clicks. Another toxin this game was a huge one.
Kraken Shell's really
yeah. That's gonna.
It's a good shackle actually. That is so much.
Oh my lord! Damage as a support.
Yeah, our range and got shackled when all his creatures. Shackle is so long duration and they don't have a counterplay. He's seizing that opportunity he had there for a moment. The lineups in general, I have like very different strengths. The ability to disengage and kind of kite, so with like Ravage into Spirit Remnant with all the nukes that they. I like this dire lineup quite a lot actually, so they can find a way to make their supports useful. The combination is a bit awkward for me. and he has been playing it a lot. So for them in being able to utilize that well.
Yaps or Pudge typically work because he farm a whole lot. Like he ends off lane in a lot of games.
Yeah.
But, you're also not going to be seeing this.
Nyx had mana burn level 1, and they were still able to.
I learned my lesson not to miss kills.
Don't mind toss was a joke.
What? How dare you? I think very important.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the with Yapsor.
Pudge actually has potential to. It's under the condition that time.
Oh, good call. Anchor smash off, only level 1 right now.
Dump off. Isis has just.
Why not just kill the Centaur? Ends up getting the kill.
The neutrals, the Centaur was mid. I think they would have killed the Tide. That's what he was.
Mid lane, we have a dive in the. Mushi looks to be the trade mid 1. He's been in every single kill. He's what?
All right. Well, he's got to get.
I don't think I've ever seen that. He's do the same thing, but
getting solo is generally really bad. Like that's it. That's
right. Nobody gets Puppy with an ensnare as well.
Need to not fall apart in this lane stage. They're only here after, but now they brought mid 1 back in the game with 3 as well. Now they have the ensnare into level 2 hook. Very powerful combination. Jabs canceled the impale there. But yeah, so far so good for Mineski. Arguably until that kill, he won back in the favor secret. And away with a safe lane Ember. I think that in most cases this is like really, really bad. Like,
yeah. Naga, Puppy with the ensnare. Yep, how well Ember Spirit was doing in this lane as he feeds away his life. Haven't even had to set them up with ensnare at all. That's nice redirection is going to be in a lot of hurt here. Ninja Boogie using this Ether Shock to finish off. Have to practice that in the future, Ninja Boogie. He's going to finally get his first assist in the game. That damn stick.
I was
maybe not actually.
5-0, I think.
No, at this, and then you kill him, and that's when you get your money. No,
Viper wants Shaman to get.
Well, did you hear that? Medic, isn't it?
The homing missile.
Yeah,
that explosive sound on top of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear.
You guys need to post that on Reddit. Gyro this game.
I don't think he has the best matchup. Actually, hang on.
They have Ether Shock in 2 seconds. Nice timing. Fata level 5 right now. So back to.
He's definitely going to be the most farmed hero on the map in this game. So if he has a matchups in this game, I don't consider the hero particularly good against Razor. I think Tide is he's obviously short range spreads, but a lot of the time Tide can be maybe the him.
Being introduced to the level 6. There it is, Ninja Boogie. That's what we like to see. We're not going to get connected, but the Rocket Barrage did 5 seconds. Homing missile
doesn't matter. He's dead.
It doesn't matter. 6 didn't kill him, but the right click will. In fact, the more I hear it, the more I like it.
If you like it, it's probably bad.
This is the crazy thing about Dota. These level 4 only.
Yeah,
that's
you get. That doesn't mean they're not gold out of it. And he's relatively.
Sice will TP away. Viper Strike. That's an easy kill if he doesn't TP away.
We've got that covered. I also think Ember Spirit actually can get out of call down. He can. Will get. And yeah, so.
2 assists as he has yet to die in this match.
Mineski are playing very fast. They're making a lot of quick, aggressive plays.
He's going to attempt to TP out, and he might be successful.
He was scared maybe of dying.
Like Jabs is here to. Is that a taunt? Nyx has a taunt?
Taunt of no.
TP. Consistently, Mineski able to TP out in the midst of.
Force that TP out.
And what do you say? Yeah, that's literally it. And then Dismember once.
I still like this. You know your limit. You can at least still put pressure with your gyro. Gets the tier 1 tower. It's a great move overall. Advantage of just being in a strong position as much as possible on all the aggressive moves for his team. You will get a 10-minute drum phase. Be rich at this point. What's his GPM?
Not too shabby. Gonna be some damage. No, maybe not. Fata is going to be met by Moon, aka Nabs. Of course, Spike Carapace is a suit, and with the Rocket Barrage, this should be a very. Yapster, was he in range? It's why it get within the AoE that you need.
Most of the time, Pudge really only gets Flesh Heap when he is the one killing with this.
Speaking of, this is going to be a theme. I know we haven't I like to talk about level 25 talents.
Very
have you ever seen Liberation picked up?
Yeah, I have personally. It's a damage too. Like that's the other thing.
Oh, it also heals. I mean, that's the thing. It's in theory, it's good canceled. Plus the 2 Flesh Heap like doubles your HP almost. It's more than us. We're in America. That's what we do. We round up and we execute. Boogie finally level 6 now on this Shadow Shaman. So look to him. Tidehunter's going to use the Ravage on the 2. Here's the Mushi fall. And Tidehunter will live, wanting Mushi to aggress a little bit. Dies to Ninja Boogie. Looks like
losing your Naga for Ravage is.
Oh, you technically start
in the recap.
This is all. It's tomorrow. You will see Pimp Munkle at his best factor, right? You can see the difference, the true.
Look good. Yeah. Just have you obs the group.
Mid lane, we have the TPM. Yaps are just going to walk up and eat him. Ace doing a lot of damage with the Rocket Barrage, though it's going to be for you.
This Gyro's really strong. It's one kill on Gyro a moment ago. Best kill of the map clearly, not only because the flow of Secret's lineup is very smooth as the carry while farming.
Quite low. There's the song to cancel Toxin. I didn't realize how low this cooldown was. Jesus. Okay.
Well, to keep tied in the Nether Toxin. Can't break out of the ensnare. He's just stuck there. Of Kraken Shield, but also the ability to get tools to kill off the tide like that. Really important.
And this is, I mean, eyesight.
Mental stuff, man. Coin flip. More it's like, oh, if I can't backstroke, I don't.
This is what I honestly think, because I've had a lot of experience with, professional sports especially, that this is a thing, right? The game. And I think a lot of players don't realize how big it is.
To taunt while you're in Nether Toxin.
That star's going to get the dismember up on Ninja
kill.
Boogie.
This is a really big one. 500 gold for
Oh, you have to realize. Sometimes I am joking.
No, the thing is, I can't tell with you.
And
then you're like JK /S.
So you can never tell.
I can't. Not always.
Not.
That's when you're good at it, right? When you're good at, and then they judge you after, and they think you're an.
No, you never know if he's joking or if he's just. I hear another
always both,
into the Sonic Wave in way or the other. There is a smoke gank question to that.
They do have
Ravage.
Ravage.
That is yes. Impale coming. The hook's going to save the Gyrocopter. The Gyrocopter is dead. It's as if mid one might be next on the list. Or a Razor. Very nice. Killed the Razor.
And that was even a good hook from
The worst for Secret now is Puppey looks to be next on the main. Song of Siren for 14 seconds.
Oh, earn clutch.
Moon will live.
Dominator regen on the Tidehunter. Dominator build, but there's many with getting this item again on different roles. Something that's popular right now, at least in the European, getting a Helm of the Dominator first item. Try its Necro Book, and you hit this like ridiculous time. You're passive and you use your Howl on Tidehunter. I'm not sure what Ice is looking for, if there's like a specific...
Net was very handy in that last fight.
For sure. Got it like, okay, I want an ensnare in this game.
Oh, maybe getting the skeletons from the trolls. Tier 1 tower is going to be taking some damage now.
I think you're...
This Tier 1 tower is denied. Can you tell which one it is? Vendetta on the back. Doesn't have any backup at all.
Interesting to look at the net worth distribution of this game. Like Secret have a pretty minor lead from Mineski, and the Nyx Assassin also richer than the... It's down to whether Mineski can find a jump. He managed to jump and kill a Gyro and after that. Oh, Tidehunter.
Sonic Wave is there, and he actually saved his team. Mafata stuck inside the Serpent Wards, though. He 2 kills the way of Mineski, actually.
I don't think that was
really
intended.
Good.
That was not intended. I hooked the Tide.
Oh, I think so, too.
But next to the tower, and there was a lot of reinforcement from them. Obviously, 2 cores for 1. And classic core from Secret dying as...
Member would die shortly after. Ninja Boogie's just taking all 18 minutes is pretty unheard of with the Arcane boost. His farm is redonkulous, right?
Shaman build from Puppey earlier today was very key and very annoying for the enemy core. It seems to be more of an initiation style, which they already have a Nyx Assassin that can engage. The Tidehunter wants to get a blink as well. So we'll see if this ends up being a
pressure. Keep your foot on the pedal.
Gives you the potential of getting skirmishes done on that, right? It's a very good way of dealing with Queen. Very easy kill, right? The difference between that and all his spells, and then in order to kill him, you let that Shaman off. It's going for Force Staff. I was wondering if you've seen Aghanims build.
Is likely to be dead. Thank God Dismember is global, by the way, the sound. But this is a massive
armor. I don't think...
I actually was going to ask you this, what the common build
balance. I think it's what you allows you to sustain a lot better in
fights. That one I feel is a no-brainer.
Nice, but it's not the best hero to have it on unless you have like multiple active items that use CD armor. So he chose the armor this time. It is obviously dealing a lot of physical. Ember will deal physical. Oh, great camera work by
Pimp Munkle Jr. There's also, I don't know if that actually comes into play in his thought process. Right away, the Nether Toxin breaking his passive. Tidehunter's going to be the first to fall, though. There's a Song of Siren. 5, just barely. They're just going to turn this around on Ninja Boogie again. He's gotten all the streaks on Ninja Boogie.
I think Tide by the same exact play like 3 or 4 times. He can itemize to just solve that. Force Staff instead of Blink Dagger, and this play is a totally different. With Force Staff, get rid of eventually break some of it off. It's going to back off.
Yeah. Has 6 flesh.
Level this game.
I mean, this is Dota now, honestly.
Not really.
Really?
At 20, that every single support has level 2.
Look at the difference, right?
I mean, relatively, but compared to pretty unusually high levels of experience. So, Office, I don't think that was what Rune.
Oh.
He was actually trying to, or in front of the Rune.
I can't blame him. When
that's such a nice risk play, though.
Pretty cool.
I think he saw hook that Rune. And
really good vision in this area, actually.
Yeah.
Ace now at the moment. Yeah, it really does feel like that.
Copter in this game. I think this is the natural progression. Arcane is showing its run is real. Purpose this Nether Toxin and get something good. Travel up Ember, and that kind of something is happening.
Yeah,
good force that time.
What do you think of the Yule?
He needs it against Orchid. That's a good idea. Just like you have to adjust. You can man and use as a way a cheaper choice. Too many counters.
Oh, Puppy's gonna be. We'll ensure that the stuns will be enough to keep him at bay. The Upstar misses. Should be a freebie. Ace is gonna use call down, but don't think he's gonna actually commit.
I feel like Rot Deny. I feel like the server rolls.
Oh my goodness! Ravage onto one kill, and they will be successful.
The server rolls a Pudge always gets the deny.
No, I agree.
It always favors him somehow.
I think so. Something hardcore. Somebody at Valve is a real Pudge. Nope. And you get money. What do you think of that? He's going to use Song, not able to get the 9 on the tower, but will be from Ace. The Yules is going to keep M's nice slide of Fist as well. And we'll just, of course, Orchid up in 9 seconds. And so great disengage from Mineski.
Secret needs to be a little bit careful. They know there's a remnant in play here from Moon. We'll follow him. And Sensor Creep being hurt. And Secret are going to draw. They know Ravage is on cooldown, but Ember is in position. He fails and just doesn't realize this is going on. Foreman. The illusion on quarter health. They're giving it up and going for future. Nice play from Secret. I think this is just a very good Aegis.
Oh my god, what a play! Lord, that is disgusting. It's going to Louise Cinderwind. Meanwhile, bottom they get the...
That's how quickly it can change.
Ace right now. We'll have to work with now. Perhaps even the evasion.
The evasion is not that good here.
I guess
it's somewhat decent, but the majority of damage nature. It's more about he's in his BKB if they have spells, or if they catch him before here. Like the relative amount ahead.
Puppy's dead. Oh my god! At the last second, the sacrificial lamb. No, he TPs.
Mushi gets in with a max range plasma field. Last second TP out from Ninja Boogie.
Applied to Tidehunter. Better be careful. Is there a Viper? It's going to cost him his life at the very least. If he comes like he's trying to run away, as Fata positions himself with a Beagle. Dismember onto Mushi. He mid one as the fight continues. Fata's beat for Moon now. So it's a 2 more hooks. He's got a lot of mana to work with. And I miss a kill.
More trapped and Hex Shackled. End of that fight. Mineski are probably ult to kill the Naga and the Quad. They got the Gyro kill. Well worth it for them. And Shaman cashing in that with here in the game. Don't have to worry that much right now in terms of net game flow. It doesn't seem like Secret will point soon because they lost that Aegis, that jab. Will be arriving Curry with a snare here. They are covering it.
Gonna glimmer for it. No.
Break on the wave here.
I feel like I've seen more TPs this game, 8 minutes, than I've ever seen before, without a tinker
movement.
And a lot of like very close calls, TPing away from, which that's kind of the cool thing, because in Captain's Draft, whatever you want pretty much with just the amount of bans that you have. But in Captain's Draft, options that you want.
Pretty meta though. They actually got themselves a lot of really strong picks for this patch. I would say maybe at least like the support duo Naga Pudge is pretty. Car combination is not that common either. Having up and Gyro is a bit.
Mid one is this as the call down comes down. Ace with the BK down the boards. Trying to position them to block off this fight. It's going to be a 1-4. Because of the Song of Siren, we'll just get out of dodge for now. 50-50, aka 100.
Really matter. Like the Sonic Wave wouldn't have killed him. Now that the damage didn't get done to him.
Here comes Ember Spirit with a double impale as well from Nyx. And that is only one survivor right now for Secret. Looks like this round.
It's 2 lanes almost.
I mean,
they push pretty
fast.
Do have
buyback.
They have a dominated Catapult. That's something you don't think about too much maybe, but the 20 attack speed aura from this item, it's... I don't know what the Catapult speed is. So they got the full lane. They actually back off here. I think back to Secret. I think they could have taken almost the... maybe scared of a... They could have managed to disengage. They know extremely big win here for Mineski. Secret had been floating an advantage in the game almost the whole time, and now...
And then that Roshan Aegis following a couple fights really put this in minute. From an optimistic standpoint in Secret, you have this massively from Gyro. Gyro not top of net worth.
Yep.
He has blink up in 1 second,
that's
but
80 seconds on the sideline on a core. Considering Fata just umptious, then
Alright, so thank you for ruining the broadcast.
Stream, it's kind of the same thing.
Stop for a second so I can turn this off. right, we're good.
It's still showing.
Oh, we'll just keep that on for the rest of the game. It's fine. It's a.
Wait, why is that not? Seriously though, tab out and tell him you don't want to.
I already went offline.
I think you shift tab.
Right,
they got to kill
him.
I like
This fortification is now up. Viper doesn't want, but big ravage from Ice. Couple of heroes, but is it going to be enough? With Nick's assassin down, I think Ace is just going to clean on. Yule's is going to keep longer. So it's a 3-4 lead. We'll look at the recap here in a second. Podcast.
Please get rid of that.
All right.
Say.
Okay, I actually thought it was automated. Okay.
I mean, I know it's.
The audience is not what it used to be. AKA pro gaming, quote unquote, without you. Mineski. I didn't hit the recap. You distracted me.
Yeah,
so.
sorry for fixing the.
Mineski's still increasing on their lead.
Yeah, who for buyback only, but they lost tower. Anyone for that. So.
This is the production quality you can expect for the miner. Really appreciate it. That's a Valve bug. Let's be real.
He could have definitely considered that option. It happened broadcast.
Of course. Yaps are looking for a hook. Level 19 here, as we see an Octarine core picked up.
I don't know, I think the biggest item of the game right now is the gem on Yapsor, because the superior vision in the fight. They need to try to get a jump, a really good Song of the Siren into call down, or maybe fight even starts with the Orchid of Queen, something like that, but he has the Yule, so it's win condition right now, to be honest. But we'll see if they can set up.
Yep, they definitely see him. As the Searing Chains comes out. Roshan is about to spawn for a potential sneak of Roche, perhaps, especially with Ravage online now.
They're always really strong in Roche.
Yeah, which is crazy how Japs is able to get away with. Razor almost nice pickup against the butterfly of.
Is that completely new? Because this is a very unusual tell that players just identify.
Might not be able to use it here. I don't think it'll keep him alive, but the Song of Siren will.
But they might not want to fight.
I'm not sure if they want to. Ice. Does have it available now. See if they can Nether Toxin this. Not in time. The Ravage can be able to clean up Ice at the very least. Silence on it with the Rocket Barrage. Sonic Wave's enough to finish off deaths in favor of Secret.
They even insta-purge Nullifier. They got that extra kill as well. Key hook. It's always.
It wasn't snare hook.
Yeah, sure. But still.
Great job by Puppy. Nice.
It's always that set of a fight winner there. It's the Observer Ward. It's playing. Like, Secret had better information about when they got the hook and immediately took a very red of Mineski in that moment. And with their song on cooldown, even with call down Unity. And I think Mineski probably felt it down. They're not going to go for us. And then all of a sudden, them in the game Roche, they get mid-tier from Mineski, but this is a
4K right now. And in theory, is Secret, how are they in terms of pushing the waves? How does this lineup fare? Like, you have Puppy, obviously Naga support Naga.
Yeah, they have pretty good wave there. Like,
excited about this. Not to cut you off.
What's that?
Do you see this item? Queue up. Oh, excited.
Ice likes that a lot. May I recommend?
This is beautiful though. He doesn't go for the Kraken Shield damage armor. You can do it AOE. Oh, it's. What does it become?
I don't know. At this point, maybe you don't do it because there's an option that can prevent you from forcing out of the Nether Toxin now. But
Eon Disc.
Good item on Naga. Your main goal is to get disabled and take some damage. He can instantly get the song off it. It's pretty good. I'm glad you caught it. I thought about it myself.
You can't claim it. I
believe
you. There's no way.
Would have been really proud of that.
I would have.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man, I'm impressed just by
mediocrity, and I'm looking for greatness. Yeah.
Moon level 25.
Oh man.
Missile charges. I think this is level 25 talent choice.
Players don't use the talent that well. Often I see gyros you just take. But then you're casting them on top of each other, so you get in the fight. You can put on like 3 different heroes. You form defensive cooldowns. You force out to change up their positioning. I think that used the worst on average.
Okay, so. I could. Awful. Awful.
It's pretty. That is probably. I think that's pretty.
The old adding in Ags.
It also wasn't bought back then.
A couple times. A couple times. Ace with the double damage right now. We're seeing the top BKB really wants to do some damage to this tier 3. Just smash staff away. There's the Ravage. Yapsor's going to fall. Mid one is next. Which was done to this mid wrapped by that engagement.
I did not really like that move from Aegis. So, and he like do anything with this. He runs in, he hits that Titan. His BKB is down. So even if he has to run away, and they end up losing on the way out, heroes without. Actually, Pudge just got buyback from his gold talent. And this comes through Ravage on to at least force the Viper buyback that they might have met.
Look at this attack speed from Mushi. +1.
Yeah, this talent's
pretty crazy. The other one's not bad either.
I don't think it's really key that you can purge off all the time. You would want to purge every 2 seconds, you know?
It's just generally helpful. Slow. That's true. That's you can buy that, but it's going to be quite. You can't
nice
buy minus 3 cents.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to get a free Moonshark when you think about it. You know?
Yeah.
Free
right
unconsumed one as well.
Has the ace. Aces, BKB on the other hand is down to 5.
They smoked under if Mineski set this up properly for 40 seconds. So I don't think they can win this fight big enough that it ends.
What kind of initiation are other? Would they rather kind of ring, or would they rather try to initiate with it?
Song the Ravage and not losing the ideal fight, that they trade those two abilities able to do it. Because even if Puppy gets ravaged, I think it deals enough damage to trigger off his 80% health. So he needs to take 440 damage and hit by more than Ravage.
Maybe with a gush, the AoE gush, just run right into it.
Second smoke. Okay, so Secret have just changed me.
Yes,
I also noticed that one.
Okay.
If they get something, if they don't get anything out of this, they've kind of. They might have one left. Can you actually see
No, you
this?
can't see that
like
anymore.
You can't see it. Pudge. All right, well, they're good to go. They just,
3 times the charm, as they say.
They're aware. The Moon bottom lane, pushing that out, waiting for it to Secret space, and they kind of have to wait and let the creeps hit their towers a little. It's very clear Mineski are not going to. There goes an Effigy, starting to deal damage to the tier 4s now.
25 talent, Vendetta, unobstructed pathing.
Yeah, I think it's good sometime. It's pretty strong.
I would think most people take the unobstructed Ice. They're smoking me that. Their BKB Serpent Wards are placed. Gyro is dead. Disengage. Mid 1 stuck inside the wards. Mid 1 attempting to get out of Blink and do everything they can to catch up to him. Ace does have one.
We actually saw the exact scenario we were talking about earlier. So his Aeon Disc didn't go off, and then just a very quick Ravage play. I think this Tide, I think a lot of Tides are very like, find an opportunity. He just goes in.
All right.
Desperate time to sit back in space and wait, because they're going to just lose the lane of Rax. He's trying to slow down Mineski's advances. He does have a...
I don't know if you want to hook in that scenario, but we'll see. Ice was stuck in the tree. I think they're going to...
Yeah, Ice. He's thinking about this.
Oh, yeah. There's the Gush on AoE. Fod is in a lot of trouble. The Gyrocopter buyback after waiting for so long here. Will they go to the lower bracket? And it goes right there. Has the homing missile applied. This could be a dieback if they're able to finish him off too late. Multiple buybacks are used. Probably going to get megas out of this bad boy. There's already been done by him. Mid 1 pops the BK used, but that's going to be mega creeps going there. Nyx Assassin looks to be next up. No, Literos are quite low. Looks like Ninja Boogie at this point. 3 deaths. But again, they do have megas. Trying to X out if they want, or they can actually take this. Ace pops the BKB, trying to run the mid 1, trying to help out, but going to be going to the lower bracket as Mineski plays in the group force.
Came from them. I like the draft more. We have a bit more, I would say, they had a couple of good team fights, but I would say this one, and when they got 1 or 2 better fights, multiple fights, he got ravaged and just blown up by remnants. And
it's that, with that damage threshold, that all the difference.
It could have made a really big difference that fight. In hindsight, this is easy to say after work with Naga. That's the classic old way of playing Naga, is that you wait for the whatever key and you blink on top of everyone.
Right.
Advantage, and obviously it has room for error. But after seeing it play out, you know, it's easy to say. The purpose in this game would have been better.
Number 1 spot in Group Horse. They will get to 3rd and 4th placements of the opposite group.
At the moment looks to be who is Pain and EG.
Well, not necessarily.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
More than likely, Mineski will choose the loser. Very possible.
They probably choose Pain, I think.
Beats EG, and then they win their next one. Then they're not, that is pretty likely, yes.
But with that, we'll take a quick break and see what the panel have to say about this. I think we have 2 left in this group, so stay tuned. We'll be right
Friends, Captain's Draft 4 by event. Got 2 heats left here on the main secret down, forced to play another match group, and they will be moving on with a good panel. And we got a new face, Shane. Welcome, bud. How you feeling?
Very good. And that gives you a real insight, actually. Different teams think about the draft, and I think that's a bit, but it definitely is very, very interesting. The teams are taking it extremely serious. They have completely. As it progresses, I wonder if we'll see
any sort of sense of like panic, like the second these be like, oh, this is here, this is here, this is here.
Always very confident in their heroes and their play style, so they're more like, you know, like honestly favoring heavily is support, homing support, how you're going to lane it.
To grab in the whole pool, just because G9 strength, vast majority of the support. The roamers, I'd say, would do come to strength.
Honestly, the last game was summed up by that. You got the hook, it was great, right? He is their initiation. Felt like Yapsor just wasn't able to do it, right?
Who was this extremely long cooldown, so it's very kind of that. It's like a tug of war song, and they're like battling it out between each other on top.
Yeah, and kind of cool. And back to that old mage kind of stuff, just doing big magic damage.
I picked in this game because sometimes in sports, right, you're really heavily brings a lot of that, right? He has mobility, he has luck.
Absolutely.
The support getting picked up, like you guys said, there's a lot of support duos that, or they're just duos that you don't want to play options. You need to be able to do things. So even if they maybe look good in lane, they don't. When you see these like Sand Kings, when you see these supports that not only can fill multiple roles, but it's just to make them, those are going to come off the board.
Yeah, there like the Spirit Breaker.
Well, with our next, their very first game today. That's not the best support duo I've ever heard of, but Yoku was all over the map on the Disruptor. He was doing, came around. The BKBs came out, and those do things and. Good luck, my cores.
It's like different peaks in the game, right? Like generally, okay, this team is pretty good. All drafts. There's like so much focus on the early game, maybe mid-game focused. Like Gapsor, you guys saw it was on the other stream, I think.
Yep.
To almost core. You know what I mean? They played it super late game orientated, right?
Yeah, some of the principles, if you have like a captain's draft pool, which is can't start fights. If you can't force them to take fights on your terms, then the other team has the free support. You need levels, you need something, but there's just nothing to threaten that. So he very easily steps into those fights with those kinds of lineups as if you're threatening on Disruptor, catching people at towers, like pub that. But again, they just don't have enough ways to fight yourself. At the same time, there's a bit of a feeling of, it's captain's draft. We got to take Sanzo. I think you'll usually just get banned early on, and then everything else you have.
The first like 20 seconds are so important. Heroes that have good combinations. Some sort of key ban for your pick.
Team, and you're saying, okay, we know how the meta's developed, or like, okay, we know we're going to be first pick now, guys. Here.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I guess the best support.
Ban the dazzle.
All right, halfway through day number 1 here, and that is Group Horse. I keep having to rep Horse. Stream number 1 is Group Horse. Stream Empire versus Vici going off against Mineski of the day. So loser of this match in the group.
Okay.
I think they should be on secret.
Where
we left them.
Could we possibly group Hippo on stream number?
It's probably going to be the same thing.
It's probably going to
get figured out.
All right.
Why don't you drink
a book?
I
need to see this because we didn't get a chance to watch.
So EG is playing Pain at the stream right now, and that is the 4th round. Pain games moved a little bit more quick on the games we had on this stream. All right. Aha, Group Hippo on right now, and it looks like that's over.
Are we gonna miss the rematch?
I'm moving rooms.
I came back just in time to miss the rematch.
Pride, I think, right here. It's all really that big. You're still in the middle.
You see Reddit, I was right. Or the other people are saying, EG's so trash. And everyone's like, guys, it's just a best of one. Still ones. Bring back all blame the team you hate.
If Complexity win, they
yeah.
That's how it works.
Mott and Brax doing the casting over there. Here we're stuck with Sunsfan Synderen. It's been tough, dude. It's been a brutal Mott Brax.
Can't get enough of it.
Yeah. So we'll still have another few minutes before trying to keep a tight schedule.
Well, the games look like they're about to end, and then the leading team starts to lose, end up winning, at least the past couple, and then early they head, and then they end up losing. So
I think it's a lot to do with comfort. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to overcome it with some extra strategies. You might be missing the initiation, and you have to play to make mistakes. Essentially, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's hard. And you say, okay, all we need is this. Check a few boxes. All right, none of those.
So far on this stream, I've kind of been on the edge of could be watching the other stream at the same time. What happened in the mid game there? So it's good day 1. Let's not jinx it, boys.
Well, Jack and I, you guys are actually picked.
This used to be Dota 2's best card. Who made this?
This stream sucks. Continues to watch for hours. That's a
slack spelling. I mean, that's
joke, and definitely not how he actually spells or anything.
We learned that there's an H, or an H to me.
It's phonetic.
Yeah, I keeping it interesting.
At least we're keeping on theme with.
That's good.
Great work. Well,
Glad I could help though.
Yeah, no problem.
And what heroes are we seeing banned every game? Who seem like, you think back to Dota, AM is broken. This is the hero that have that conversation at this point in Captain's Draft. Every team is just doing the best with what they've got. Consistency across the draft.
I think the maybe top team and their players, right? At the start of the match of heroes, and you have to make the best of it. And so ice on Mineski. You can just throw him on like Visage in that game, but they can play around it. His support, pretty unusual. And just being able to be versatile in the draft.
Our draft, right, has been like you want those heroes with multiple roles. You want someone who could maybe be a 1, can be fine with draft. But if you can pick those heroes out of especially as we talked about a couple times now.
By the same conversation or same as the diversity advantage.
I think we keep better just from over time. They have more from
VG Empire.
Oh, sorry.
I was it was a great Day 9 cosplay right there.
VG better than Empire overall.
But me personally, I casted have more experience going in. First few days of the qualifiers,
they've got numerous roles. When he did his comeback, he's mostly just known for like Luna Gyro.
Years where he'd only play Gyrocopter.
It's extremely low.
For versatility, if you talk about VG, definitely check that box. Fenn more of a roamer, more of a 4, I would say, than even Lanham does.
Right.
He's the one moving around, like making boards are and making things happen. So there's already versatility there. Like both of them content playing that 6th position, sitting behind someone, not getting much. So he's able to do both. And the experience allow both supports to step in.
Like the same heroes. Like sometimes Lanham will be playing the next game they play it. I love one game I was watching off with a Mango. I don't need that much regen. This offlaner's terrible. He just skipped the whole map and killed everyone with some quick boots too.
Always going to the offlane as a support.
Yeah, he did that kind of space creation thing.
Where it's like when you pick the hero, usually you for most teams you know who it's going to go to. Ports are interchangeable, so you're not really sure it's going to be an end. This extends to the cores as Ratzi mid, depending on how it goes. Old 11s, he would often be left to throw you on a Magnus or Earthshaker, good luck, and he put a lot more towards running at his lane and that they've had. So he's been used to playing. In terms of play, maybe not just heroes, but whether they get more or less space or featured, I think.
My standout player from I thought about Chinese offlaners. He was the one. Speaking of versatility, I think I can remember. It's actually insane. His act a lot of Magnus.
Yeah, mostly his Magnus.
Yeah, but initiating heroes.
Magnus became something, either undefeated or something. And this is when nobody else was really doing it. And what was it at the time? Like maybe how they played. So and he still gets up.
Still has farms.
We've got a draft. It is 4th best of 1. Let's get into it.
Boom.
What do we got?
All right, what's on the left?
This is a pretty shallow pool, my tiny clocks. SF, I guess you could put in that top as well.
Looking at stuns as well. Well, I'm saying like int pool. Right?
Oh, yeah.
At the bottom, like there's no range ones.
If you look at it stands out, I think beyond that, obviously like Viper and stuff as well.
Shadow Fiend?
Beyond that, the matchups that you want out of these, I feel like
I think of Puck almost as an off lane here.
Use it,
Captain's draft 100%.
Point.
I'm still looking. You can pick a more greedy offlaner and have decent range support.
Take either Clock or Slardar, whichever one.
It's a punch, but it's really for Clock and Slardar for the most part. If someone manages to get a Clock SF opening,
we're gonna be focusing on that minus armor if it's the Slardar, and then you can just do the Cog Souls if it's also traditionally pretty strong in these modes too. Game 5-man Dota, and when you're playing in a Captain's Draft or a Midas from one.
She makes her lane partner a bit stronger.
Speaking of like a Puck, or if you like that kind of a scaling core with old 11, that could make
scaling core now. The way those 25 Talon Gun Dream Coil build, you're definitely picking up some weight.
Maybe some.
I feel like historically he's been one of those kind of pockets. They have a great solution, Wraith King.
Yeah,
he's anti-mage is here, though Mana Burn isn't that he is the other big one.
At least Marana got banned.
Honestly, Strain or Mana Burn really can level 20 now. It's actually quite accessible. The problem I have with Wraith King is his lane is contested heavily with a strong, like nearly unplayable.
He wants where he gets a little bit of freedom to he just wants to go and do stuff across the map, or he just wants Armland. He wants to show up in secondary core. So Clock, I think there honestly. It kind of sucks because now they're
your game is pretty top tier.
Support pool.
Right away.
SF opener. Okay.
Because I don't want to give up SF Slardar.
Test them as well, so it's both things, right? It's
like Darkseer Slardar.
That's probably one of the best 2-3s here.
Like you don't really want to play DK into Shadow Fiend. You don't want to play a lot of these heroes. The ones that Viper's alright.
Viper's still like with those to play around.
DK.
It's tough.
I mean, how highly are they going to value the Pudge per? Slaughter.
Still very difficult for DK. As far as history goes, Empire as a team have picking it when no one else was picking Dragon. So like they come up with say Jakir and just hit a timing. He doesn't have the most farm in the world, but they can work with it.
Here for
Empire.
For A's. You can also help Shadowblade or something like that.
That's true.
And try
make some really tanky early game.
Then the problem lane, which is typically where you're going to get it. Then you know the supports are already pretty weak right now. Some trouble overall just controlling.
Well, what they're all very good against
Doom.
Do you think off-lane Enigma could be wild?
Well, they have two really some follow-up could be very good.
I'm thinking only Jakira with it, and even though there's a silencer pick or try to, it's say we're not really, and then just coming online early with.
I feel I'd rather have the Darkseer over the Enigma, unless they just
ease of execution. You just Ion Shell, and
they would have to protect by taking the silent if they wanted to go for the
Enigma. They can go for a likely, in fact, with the CM. Team Empire are kind of Dragon Knight, so you can play around that by looking at the waves.
Two great different heroes.
It enables it, yeah. Because Quilla and Raindrop, and you're good to go. And maybe with the mana changes, with the intelligence changes.
All right, it's coming together for Vici.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
you know, I'm just saying.
I feel like it's just a good option here because piercing definitely doesn't hurt against DK.
Look at the lineups. I don't see why you'd pick Naga into this.
Or Ravage, whereas now if you're Team Empire, we don't want to fight with Black Hole into Song. We're going to play that cooldown battle.
I think really any force left except possibly.
Like Doom?
Yeah, I do.
They do.
They run that as an offlane.
Luna, so still great 5-man. They will be able to crumble these early games. Definitely fits their play style.
It's just Captain's mode.
What's their final pick though?
There's a Slardar Darkseer that this lane, it's a little basically force them out, especially when early on. So depending on what your options a little bit, and the Luna vision, you can't go into jungle, and it also gives. If you hit those items,
heroes would be like Bloodseeker.
I look at push. There's this timing push from Empire and Shadow Fiend. You never want to stay so far forward with like Shiguro. But
they're bad.
And he can pop the ulti if they initiate terms rather than the other way.
Like a Doom or something, and just do. Is that something that China's into at all?
Okay, if they pick Doom, like it feels so mad. And you played the core Naga and you pick Centaur to take your team fights.
I don't think they pick up, and you're not really worried about being comboed down. I actually wonder if Wraith King is there. The combos well in lane also survive after an Eclipse, after Darkseer combo.
Pick Jakiro here and kite the crap out of Wraith King here. Vacuum.
It's got to be Jakiro.
Yeah, the silence.
It's definitely not a good silencer game.
Okay, remember they're gonna. The Roshan is good.
What this game look good for Vici? Pressure with the Darkseer and the Slardar into that safe lane. Then maybe Ori's going to get out of control. He could really obliterate this Dragon Knight if he doesn't get. And if Paparazzi somehow manages to get that decent item, maybe he can help propel that into just kind of. It looks like you're just picking and choosing what you want to do. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. The only thing I can fathom to not have if they fail a high ground push in the early mid game, they could fall behind. Give that. It's going to be on the support though.
Yeah.
So
trying to dodge, right? Maybe trying to match can, and then they're just gonna switch, and then
hopefully.
I think we can heroes do so much with that man.
All
right, well let's see what happens. Game number 4. It's Sunsfan and Cinderin.
Welcome back. We got Vici Gaming versus Empire just of last year.
I did not.
Say. Good.
Like Captain's Draft.
Thank you.
Yeah. The best kind of true.
What
kind of somewhat salvaged it towards the end. I didn't really like their first 3 together. The Naga, I was like, they need something to lock arms and get something going instead of giving all the initiative. So I went for Wraith King, and I think that was it. So they kind of salvaged it. That's easier to execute. It's more intuitive how to play it, what to do. They're like the CIS Tristans. Let's run at you, fight you, take towers. They have the whole package.
But you have skeletons. Against Moonglaves. Who wins?
Yeah.
The other is skeletons. What do you think of Wraith King's skeleton? Do you think it's a meme, or do you think it's... the problem conversation, as
thanks for asking, though,
is they have a mind of their own. Farm creeps.
So, on average, they will make better decisions.
They run away here. Does take considerable amounts of damage. Dual Breath is there. Yoki does. Of course, he's pretty slow. Does have boots, actually. He's pretty fast. But
Ability heroes just gets move speed based on the agility. Heroes -5 base move speed, and then percent. What Naga's move speed was before the patch and after. But about the skeletons, I think not controllable, but I think if they were, they would probably be too, like all this kind of stuff.
I agree.
But farm, first of all, like early on in the game, Wraith King skeletons on the small camp, and then they will naturally run. And it gives you some options on killing his spell, so you can immediately get to work. to be honest. But Wraith King doesn't get played. The skill
One day
and
we will.
The obvious one is how well they push towers.
Yes.
It's actually a really big deal. If you leave,
There's a chance that they just go into the neutrals.
that's
I'm talking about the pathing and the
and you
AI.
need- yeah,
Forget dragons. It's all about the skeletons.
how to train your skelly boys.
Yes, it's pretty interesting. Like the talents that upgrade the skeleton. Let's see what do we have here.
The level
5 max skeleton versus 5 max
The
skeleton.
level 20 talent. Sometimes because I did not have any way of on it.
Like default,
Oh,
right?
that's a kill. Top.
11.
Kill.
Bit of trouble. Aggression game, I feel like. Jesus.
This trial
Ten
of
Mako.
Empire. Get it together, man. Empire is very strong. Like, any trialing with Luna in the safe, just destroy. Crystal Maiden bottom to try to help Wraith King a little. Got his level 4. He has additional damage. But where do you go with Maiden is the question. I think that, and to make Maiden work even in a Captain's Mode game, you really want to line up that in lanes. But in this game, you look like this is a good Shadow Fiend lane. Actually.
Yep, 19-3 versus 16-3.
And the thing you pointed out that the Breathe Fire reduces damage he used to win this lane was even when when he goes for CS, it would deal so much damage.
It's not base damage, it's just all like auto attack damage. Like if you get Divine Rapier, it'll play Dragon. It's okay, I do.
I just look at it. It says damage reduction. It's actually it should say
when it first came out, just to double check. But because
that would
we're gonna have a and he's gonna be okay for now. Gets ensnared though. LAN-M not gonna press Vici Gaming's lineup. Armor. You have minus armor from the Shadow, so that see if that comes into effect.
That is true. Some good synergy there. Builder as well in Abaddon could make for a very fast Vici.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just finish off this chapter on Breathe Fire.
25.
And the new one is 25 because Breathe Fire was 35, right?
Yeah.
But better later.
Yep,
in the game.
exactly.
And that was the nerf.
Yeah. It makes him. I mean, that damage and attack speed is we're going to see a
great kill.
Honestly, DK he scales way better, both damage and obviously damage mitigation. Yeah, Maposhka getting harassed.
Better.
Mid lane. Oh, not there in time. We'll take out the opposing mid.
Immediately rotate CM mid and get the kill on Fenrir, finding those openings. As I was getting at, Young 11 is doing very well for himself. He's almost level 5, minute 6. I've seen games of Young 11 where he's playing a bad and he just to come back. This does not look like it's going to. Didn't have a bad lane matchup. He's playing Darkseer, good lane. As far as the lane stage is going.
Well, we have a gank attempt. Tier 1 tower taking considerable damage from Skeleton Boys. Let's see how much they do target. So that's one good thing you can actually manipulate. Looks like the dual breath is there. He's in the fog right now. One loosened beam might. Butter dies and the Tier 1 tower goes as well. So it's a trade of sorts.
Power minute 7 against Darkseer. Probably going to see them rotate the 4 or 5 skeletons charged up in this mortal. And like it's always bad to lose towers, and it feels really bad because you know a big part of it if you lose that control space on the map.
Top lane, dual breath Empire in this top lane.
That was TP death, but Empire right now.
Yeah, I mean this push is pretty ridiculous.
It's really strong.
Jakiro, Luna, of course he has been. It's been quite crowded in this mid lane, so to be expected.
Actually, animation cancelled.
Frostbite coming up,
and one right click.
Or when you can raise in style.
Yeah, yes. Very much. Fully defend their tower by rotating up land. So, good thing you pointed out about this Dragon Knight Luna combination. It's actually a classic advantage of Lunar Blessing and take team fights when she has level 2 the way Dragon Knight wants to play as well. So Empire have mode. They found a classic CM setup here and both slaughter.
It's just easier to execute. You have a bit of a window.
Oh, Miposhka top.
Yeah,
there is a front.
Yeah, that's an easy kill again. Down the top lane has 4 skeletons inside his.
Oh, that's his current maximum.
Oh, Skelly buddies.
Go forth, my boy.
I can't get over that. I still feel like a patch. I'm like, this isn't real. I've seen it. I still don't feel in a reality that we're in. It's actually probable.
My Anthony in someone else's VR.
It's black. Yoku level 4 in the bot. The tower will fall first. It's popped.
Yeah, they're not mid. Shadow Fiend is pushing up. So borrowed time can be skilled. Battles do this where they hold the skill point to the auto trigger obviously goes off at the threshold at a different timing and maybe bait the enemy or if you feel like it would be completely useless, just choose not to skill it in the moment. That's more a lot of the time you wouldn't do that.
Pro not do that before. That's a little strange. As Ori walks away from the explosion, he's going for Yules right now on the Shadow Fiend.
I don't think they've had time for it. Multiple lanes all the time, and they have pretty strong. They've used the Maiden pretty well, I would say. Also, in my mind, one of the best players in the world is that he will find a way to make it work.
Go kind of the, I like to call it the Weehaw build. I know he wasn't the one that. Yules, Blink,
Spell
Fiend, or is Yules just?
Generally, the Yules shows a lot about. See a Shadow Fiend get Yules and then go either the spell build or the physical build. If you S and Y, Dragon Light's BKB that can actually go BKB after a small utility. That's so incredibly high damage from, but in this case, I think we're going to see Euros, BKB, and along the way, if he wants it.
How fast is BKB activation? Is there an actual cast time?
So
and then you try to Requiem of Souls.
I think he will always get the BKB off. Maybe you will.
Yes.
Like technically, if it's frame perfect, it takes the same execution.
Speaking of the Yules, he's going to pop Dragon Form in tow. There's lots of damage coming from Evan, but there's the song there. Requiem of Souls, not really timed perfectly, but a lot of damage still. The Urn is applied. He might TP back to base. Timed on the song Requiem combo. He's flapping his wings. There's the ensnare. Frostbite to follow, I'm sure. Ori, get those raises stacked up live for now. And yeah, okay, that's a death. And Corrosive Haven come into effect now. Yoki has at least one of them. Unless the ensnare comes out, then that's kind of an issue for quite a while. So actually going to get away there on him. Able to get the Loosened Beam. Yoki with one. And here comes the Ray Fire Blast. It's going to be pretty. Tins are tanking this Eclipse. Tins, you're right. They're great.
Oh, this is not sequence. They should have been able to get away. They dove the Dragon Knight so far in anything out of it. What did they kill? They killed, ended up being a trade, but at the top he was split pushing. He has gone still able to put pressure and get the tower. They have a might. There is so much farm not winning the lanes and putting the pressure that they've taken 1 tower minute 14 barely. Top tower is pretty low at least, but be a bit ahead on the moves right now.
Now taken from Dragon Knight. I actually love his talents probably more than in the last probably couple years. We're going to jump in here. Miposhka takes the fleeting miss. He's just going to place down that macro veil as Paparazzi quite and gets an Urn coming into play. They're going to take this out really fast. I mean, they have these towers pretty fast and Roshan. They can probably sub 10 seconds at some point this game.
On Nevada, probably. I'm not sure. A bit of a hint with the Shadow Fiend skill build and item build that he might Young 11. They'll only be getting one. I guess he will.
Frostbite into the Ray Fire Blast. Miposhka might be dead.
It's so satisfying.
It is. It's almost so Yules is going to cancel this TP. Ori, it's not up for another 8 seconds. Looking quite strong so far.
The Shadow Fiend right now is so scary, and he doesn't even have a damage item, right? Like it's just still hit for 180 per attack and have.
Yeah, I'm guessing he goes 40 move speed. I mean,
if they just want to end, like the moves.
I feel like with Yules though, it's pretty disgusting.
It is sick. But at the same time, you go move speed and then you go the Shadow Raise. So the already buffed Shadow Raises that deal damage. And it is going to be so crisp, by the way. It is probably next 5 minutes.
I'm worried about Empire this game.
They can win.
For Vici, and they're winning right now.
They Shadow Fiend with Abada next to him. But at the same time, I also feel like I see a lot from Silent more than other. He plays with his team. I think he's team fights as well. Like a lot of the time, Silent, when it comes to the big 5-man plays, a lot of the time he's at 4 and 4, 4 and 5. In this game, the Luna, I think, needs to play a more. I don't think they're going to win by this Luna getting just a to get kills. I think they cast one.
No, they had. I think they had one top.
They used one on the Baton. They got on the Baton. You're right.
The Skeleton's tanking. That's one good. I mean, we did that, but Skeletons can also. It goes both ways, I suppose.
I like the hero in general. Eclipse. You don't care about getting Eclipse. There goes far off.
I said at some point this game. Seconds.
Okay, we'll see if they get a second Rosh then.
If there's a second Rosh, it'll be close.
You're going to be wrong.
And it doesn't count if they get, like, if the fight begins. That doesn't count.
Oh, so now it's
conditional. Oh, and snare onto FN. Now Ori. Oh, beautiful vacuum into a wall. Nicely done. The Reckoning of Souls is going to right clicks, though, and that is a big kill. There's the BKB is now dissipated. They're going to focus on Dragon Knight, and you have to think he's looking to clean up this. DK finally does so. Vici Gaming are absolutely dumb. One more Ray Fire Blast, a couple raises. Ori would still
be there. That was the reveal, right? Pretty sure that they might not have had vision off. That fight could have been, but instantly BKB Requiems, they gets the high ground, he gets a good Requiem off, and that was looking really good at the time. With no BKB on Shadow Fiend there, that could have been...
What does Empire need to do to get back in this? Because you have a that's going S and Y. I mean, not... do you feel like he has to have a snare that goes through?
I think he has to get a BKB now. I don't think he... His BKB that... Yeah, unless he goes for it now.
What is there anything that they can?
I think you expect to come back in this through farming, things going your way. See if you're gonna have Luna.
On the fact that Song of Sirens on cooldown right now.
For example, they also know Requiem's on cooldown. The initiative going the other way. The way it looks to me, Empire and Vici Gaming is making every single move. Their Shadow Fiend being this ridiculously strong, just playing around Ori very nicely.
Only 400 away from picking up Radiance, and that's when Wraith King becomes extreme. Siri wants to itemize after the fact to go Blade Mail and just tank things. We're going to have some TP supportation. See if Silent wants to expand anything. That's a takedown for them. That might cost him his life. Nope, he's able to TP out.
Alright, got the Aegis is something. But they did expand Dragon Form.
Technically speaking, if they can just get that initial pass before he gets that BK.
It's just hard because he has Abaddon's not a support, but you know what I mean. They have Song of the Siren. You're not killing him. There's no way. Their lineup actually just can't. Not anymore. That
I forgot to
has
mention
sailed.
Ags. Yeah,
it can
so
be
good.
It can be good.
Although we haven't really seen the. Let's see. What do we need out of it? I think. Yep. Yule.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, he did use wall, is what I meant to say. That's a big cooldown. That's 90. Anytime you have a dark, so you're like, all right, we're behind, but at least by making the wall a little bit stronger. As a skeleton. Oh, skeleton.
It's not how I use the boys.
Take some damage.
Side for Shadow Fiend with this build, right? He doesn't push at all. This is not the quickest ever. Backdoor's going to kick in. I think it was this to get any more than this. They got 2/3 of a tower. All of this time Luna was farming. So
BKB pretty close to finishing that timing. The BKB, I mean, what is DK? Is he switching it up? No, he actually finished the SM. BKB on both heroes before they can.
Dragon Knight is a few minutes away, probably 3. I don't think they can win this. They might make a move. Like, here's the problem. I don't feel like Empire or anything like that. I think they have to make a move because if they don't, Vici will. Because of this Naga.
Oh boy.
Something like that is going to happen.
Goodness. Maposhka will be next on the list. Ori with a double to just kill them with one spell. You know? Why didn't save his life this time, Cinder? Maybe next.
Unless that was
In
a frame
theory,
perfect Requiem.
If you're correct, yes. Make sure that they will not in the wave.
Yoku, by the way. Yeah, so he brought the mid wave all. There's one melee creep that's running back, but
time to push top. Never mind.
Some of the boys.
He's had the same. Just saying. Turn to the other side. It's like they just won't stay there.
Yeah.
You know, behind that. Like, why do you get dedicated? You're a middle guy.
Yeah. That's like all the butt guys go bottom lane.
So what's middle exactly?
I guess.
Yep, Yoki and company for the kill, but he's level 16.
Not
has
the
his
ideal.
This is not a good engagement for Ample. Young 11 though. And here we go. The basically done. DK though is taking so and that radiance is just going to tick him down. He breathes. And Ori and company will be able to take it. The only hero lost for Vici is that.
I think 06 going to die here as well.
This Centaur is always a Centaur.
He's dead. Oh, good surge, actually. Blinked in time. Look at the Shadow Fiend, man. He's cruising.
Speed. One more blink.
Absolutely.
Very cool. And with that mental damage, the stacking damage, here comes the Macro Fire. It's going to deal a lot. Will be going by Fire Blast to Jishiro, and go Skeletons. Go. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, luckily he has Aghanim Scepter, so it kills him on the probably the bottom as well. Dragon Knight down.
And I'm just like, I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, this doesn't count.
Shakiro by best chance, all in. There's no Dragon Knight.
The counter initiation. Naga Siren. Ice Path does connect on 2 though from the backside. Young 11 pops the ult.
They're 5 on 3.
We'll see. I mean, it's just a couple right clicks away. So. See a Roshan. This is my prediction. Get Roshan under 10 seconds. Although I don't know.
They're going top.
I don't know if they can do it. To the Wraith Fire Blast. Ice Path's going to be there, but Lanham with the ensnare and Paparazzi tier 3 tower. Flips. It's not going to do a whole lot. As Young 11's going to Paparazzi. Finally, that ult goes off. FN trying to do as much damage as he can, but it's just too little farm at this point.
So good.
And Spotty, though, he's getting quite low. They know he doesn't have reincarnation. They need for silent here. As Lan M, Ori, quite a bit. Or maybe not, it's just going to get killed. Lan M.
All right, here comes Lan M.
Let's see.
There was a Skelly Boy as well, but that one died.
Yeah, mind of their own.
Yeah, it kind of has to buy. They don't have to buy it. Darkseer can hold. Hey, from Empire, actually. All things chance, they had this, or the best fight they had all game, and they clipped pretty much nothing. But the rest of the spells were completion. There was 1 or 2 key cools. So
we're going to see Roshan, buddy. It's literally on the way to that lane.
Yeah.
And then they're obviously doing it to spite me.
I would risk the game for that. No, I don't think so. If they want to play it really safe, they can get the Rosh. Because what they could just do right, no way he dies twice in BKB, or he can go for this AC that he's finishing, and then
maybe they wait for that AC, then they can take the sub. I think they actually take it in 10 seconds right now.
They don't.
I said
I know because you told me they would.
And they'd be able to do it.
They're
not there yet.
That's not what
we have instant replay. At some point this game.
At some point this.
Oh wait, what? Are we timing this?
We're doing seconds already.
It's been like 2 seconds so far.
It's like that bad. It
so
took like 20. 50. Yeah, I'm done with 17.
Right, so Roshan, sub 10 seconds.
Depends what item.
In his backpack. If he had that, it would have been 10 seconds. Damn you.
This game is about.
What the Aegis is great though. This is really good.
BKB is still on Dragon Knight. Get it before the game ends. It's Sanjay should pick up. He's gonna regret. I don't know if him a better fighting chance. He's getting screwed every fight. Naga. That's the problem. It's like you buy BKB, you can get ensnared, and you can sing anyway. Buy all of the other spells this time.
I've seen it twice this tournament so far. And there's the dragon form. Big, beautiful wall and back into the Eclipse. Boom. At the end of the day, after that huge combo, he's already used dragon form. If he buys back,
it's like 80%.
Oh my god, comes in and double raises somebody. Silent. Oh, that's the staff we were looking for. His GG's come out. 4th place in this, and the loser of that will be choose between those 2 respective teams. 2nd place basically ensures that you let
Mineski, you said Secret will choose. Secret other group. So Pain or
Pain lost to EG. So Pain and either EG.
Status of this?
Spoilers. Look at 22 and 9.
Shadow Fiend. I think he used it once. The game looked way more coordinated, way more aggressive. They were playing around each other better. I did not think they were going to destroy the game. Best and Empire play their best. VG is definitely a better team. Just run over, especially the Shadow Fiend. I feel like Shadow Fiend is one of those heroes where you look at just the way the hero is around. You can tell if someone is confident on that hero. Missed 0 raises. He had absolutely okay.
That he missed. But literally 1 raise.
All right, 9.5. Right, he was very good.
Yeah, it was great. So quick break and see what the panel has to say about this match. DC, we are almost at the kick. Got 1 final heat around, but we're back again with our panel. Way down there on the end. Purge, welcome to the panel.
Thanks. Really liked the last game, actually. King. It was pretty sick. So, Aquila on a strength hero. And at first, I was 8,000 building damage that game. And I'm pretty pissed than he slowly farmed radiance. Usually when you go like much, took all these towers, and then it didn't. Am I okay?
I
like,
actually,
it was really cool.
initially, I was like, oh, his safe lane's going to play mid because the mid matchup was so fair, bleeding essentially, and that led to more bleeding essentially.
Still found some successful kills on the DK. The Shadow, when you're that far behind, it's like we can barely. That game felt like for Empire, just all-y type strat and you fall behind.
I don't think they were, but all of the lane pressure plus the
strategy, right? They have all these timings. Takes when he gets his ultimate up. We didn't really see.
But
you know, generally you want to keep going. Ever joined up? They never really combined.
I mean, there was a Song of the Siren and stuff like that as well. Shadow Fiend, but he kind of stay alive due to songs, SFBKB because he had such a good game. So.
We talked about during the draft kind of pools, and so I think VG recognized that you take the DK right there. They know that. I think with that in mind, once they see the DK, they need be, and ultimately like really free anyone up either to go help mid or start the draft on identifying like what they commit to pressuring him. I think
in Captain's draft, right? You know, it's not so bad. It's a similar kind of.
We also wondered if it was like. Also, we also have to wonder if they picked that DK.
Phobos kind of thing. Yeah.
But they ended up doing that.
I felt like the supports on Vici felt like he was in every crucial kill. That between Slardar and Jakiro, those are so overpowering that it makes things easy. Wise, okay in damage. Dark Series sometimes, and then you have a Luna with.
I think their draft was meant to shine. Counter engage with a Slardar. You have the Jakiro. they never got the chance. They got played around and
A little bit for maybe the final time today. And this is us. And now we will see the battle for the middle.
All the teams here. I mean, Empire obviously shoes seem like Vici well. They played their draft perfect.
to pick, maybe the perfect draft for Empire.
Game, the most big mid-game team fights when you think Naga would do a really good job just breaking it up.
Talking about that during the cast, actually. It seems to be Naga's
Could be.
a definite control over when we fight, when we don't.
She makes the team fights go a little okay for your really good combo, though, because what was cool about triple raise is like, it's like way more than a regular hero. Then it's like her pairing has to be good. And she's definitely been used well today.
If you need as well, if you look at the VG2 cores from the offlane and the safe lane fight with like one combo, you're not going to do the save as well from the Abaddon, and then finally give them really hard for Empire to take those fights with the team, and before they have BKB, I feel Empire once this early game.
They could song, reset, and if the top got his BKB off, and then their whole combo was just like.
Pardon me, Group Hippo. That is that the final tally, actually? So EG and Complexity now, they have the team usually most excited about.
I think I watched the first Captain's Draft, and they seem to be.
They technically won Captain's Draft 1 and to the winner bracket final, and then get knocked off for them.
Yeah. So I'm being blind. Shane's reflection. It is
I
just
got noticing that. I was like, man, the light is really
shadows.
Close your eyes.
I'll just sit. I'll sit like Ichi versus Secret, but I think of our group stage, then we move into the. It's a little frosty out there, but it's not too. You can find individual tickets there. I like as to what that link is, but it's below the Twitch stream. Well, that's. No, I don't think there's hyphens. Come on, Twitch chat, get to it. But here we are. Neither of them taking first.
Captain's Draft, obviously Secret, like it's unbeatable in most tournaments they're in, right? Be on the plane, and so
it's probably really easy to you have to encounter the reason that it's actually bad to mode. Like if you compare your mindset about what you're expecting to see based on you're just taking random chunks of the draft to make good decisions.
Last game, like how versatile Vici was, he's willing to. I'd like to hand that edge to them in this game they try to do, but I think Secret has a with nearly as well. If you look, almost day exclusively, I'd like to hand that bit of an edge here to Secret in the situation. You need that for
a really bad game. Maybe they don't quite have.
There's so many examples. Like the jungle. What TI is that? Some team. There was like so many. Just really
different than his playstyle, and also starting fights.
He was
forcing like initiating drop wards.
Yeah, tanky. I'm really tanky. Come at me.
He lost to Mineski first, and they played against Empire. Empire played. It seems like small sample very well, at least in the group stage.
They're great from like 15. Is going to be over farmed late game. Like you can itemize lots of different ways, but if it
easily isolate the heroes. One picks this kind of mix of different heroes.
Shadow Shaman really comes in as that big scare pusher, and then it's like, oh yeah, and then also primary pushing perhaps.
That's true.
Our admin here has maybe been pretty all right, not.
Yeah, I mean, a few hiccups. It's been pretty good.
Minimal pause straight to the venue, so that's audience.
Can I just say that Shane, I'm at tech support here.
Had founder of Ireland.
I suppose.
Laugh. You said that, not me.
Day one. I'm glad Captain's Draft is not just a pretty highly sought after, and I think the few games they've Ninja Boogie, Dark Willow.
That front line and goes for the support.
Yeah.
So broken.
Yeah. Looks like this
is all it is. It's not like it kills them.
People are behind. Yeah.
The thing is that the dark already in the general direction of where the enemy you want.
Yes.
You can cut off the supports from sick like use if you're using it just to run away or just with upside for this hero.
And an entire team. It can be like almost like a ravage.
Yeah, if you press H, then you. But that said, I believe we do have a draft for minor presented for.
And then I didn't read it.
Right.
Keep it down, you.
Kind of big cure. No, maybe not that many. I guess there's a lot of cores at the bottom.
Venge.
Ooh, the Lycan has made it.
The two heroes I'm looking at now, Tusk.
High up there.
There's a lot of really good
combo, and I think
spare. Like it's
yeah,
not
exactly.
Always
when you have one hero, being able to roam, being able to.
So there you go.
Lycan, people have been talking. Interesting. I think Tusk. I would expect. You have the Kunkka as well, which.
We saw him. I think he's got some potential in Captain's Draft.
Offlane denying range creeps and jungling. They just have to use Malefist. It's mana expensive, so it's kind of like a very
disables and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It could be.
Yeah,
very
it doesn't even like beat and have a good laning stage and get greedy into that part.
Oh, I didn't even see the Kunkka there. It tapered off a little bit recently.
Kunkka was banned last.
One of them versatile.
Both teams will want the Tide or traditional safe laners, probably like Slark or something like that.
You might do some
value in this pool as well.
Boy, does that hero stands out for me now. Some snipers there. He's kind of a lap closer. If you don't have that weight to take care of.
Yeah, I would definitely wait until I know what the enemy core.
Tusk banned, and now I think you have. They're very happy taking whatever's left of it.
Third ban for Vici, so getting limited.
You know, Brisbane, yeah.
Completely unpicked, just ignored.
He got stumped.
I think he did do well that game.
Seems like he's got a permanent double damage.
Ooh,
okay,
man,
we're talking
all
about
right.
Naga being the hero
All
stat
right.
Took it last game. They got to take the lead.
So what are we saying? Naga may pressure Secret.
To pick the Void super late in the draft if you Vici.
Oh, because they could just song after.
Yeah. Medusa as well. Medusa ulti.
I need to beat whatever she's weak at. She's still strong and friendly. She has high armor.
Interesting to see Lion.
I think he does very, very well.
Like Yaps or Lane.
Lion's another really consistent, or at least I would say more than others. I feel like this is something that, you know, even
Flexible. Pretty much every Shadow Fiend performance against killing Naga illusions between Hex.
His Hex is no longer the counterplay available, and now even Aeon.
I wonder if you have to take the for the Shadow Fiend.
The old sniper.
They could also run something like a.
You know, you can play like that.
Yeah, you definitely await it. Team fight control. They can stop their opponent's damage is a bit weak right now.
As far as Skywrath is a little bit better than AA, but he's burst that allows for solo pickoffs with Void.
The only negative thing about Void though is that SF can easily swap one of the solutions against the hero, obviously. So I guess a lot of this, or like if the game just goes less, maybe one of the keys to playing against SF, and then that buys your cores enough time to buy.
Be a little bit funky, but there is that class Vici could consider.
Core. It's going to have high level impactful. It's going to the Shadowfield Requiem. They have Line Finger for duel.
Those because they want to have Naga solutions. A blink duel because as long as Naga shut
the same counter, like the being away, no problem. You don't have to swap the.
And her levels will be a bit lower than normal, and they've got and damage.
Oh,
boosts, so
and the better cores against Sniper.
Yeah, I played against their opponents have a lot of synergy between like minus. Although they can still put her out of position, like basically to allow them time to set up.
Lich or maybe swap the Venge to a
swap like a Viper or. Vici's draft is very ult dependent, and Void or a core. It's like when the ults are down, you lose Roche. You can base. They can just basically just steam selections.
Okay, so I'd never usually. He's good against OD. OD can never get close to him.
And they have a lot of team fight space created.
I think Venge is going to be their core actually.
Great. I definitely agree with your point. Whoever gets dueled, or if somebody gets. Just let the Venge do the swapping.
Whenever I'm watching whoever God tier Void game, I think Vici can either be a blessing or a curse depending on how Young 11 has a lot to prove here.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. Lan M has to song.
They don't have great gank options though. The sniper is just one of his strengths is and you can very quickly overwhelm people. Almost like what we talked about before the game. I like Secret.
The Naga AA is kind of cute. You have cold
Vici to win. They need to snowball really him or two behind actually.
They need to get Chrono
versus Vici, the final game of the cap.
Thanks, Ziori. Secret versus... Whose lineup do you like, buddy?
From my perspective, I look at almost depend on the enemy team to be has to go very well. Like the Secret lineup has the potential of taking to just look to high ground, but I'm a big believer in Secret's lineup.
It's like shivering.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. This is a great set, by the way. Paid to say that it's good. Who's playing who in the actual play? Sale Center, believe it or not.
Yep.
You could and not online.
You didn't know that?
No, getting on a plane is terrifying.
I find that.
I go up one flight of stairs.
And check because you pass out from going up the stairs.
Also,
okay.
It's also a sign of diabetes.
Not bad.
All right. Anyway, but I know you like Secret over stage as well for sure.
Yeah. And get something serious done.
The chilling touch. Here's the impale from Yapsor.
In the Secret lane, so Ace is going to be floating on the Shadow Fiend for a while. So he has to play a little bit cautious. Meanwhile, of course, this rotation is good when you run them. Like you off-play 3 heroes there, you get Ace a bit of a head start. You out-level your opponent. You just pull 3 here. And the other downside,
this hero just seems amazing. Even though you overwhelming odds, illusion, pretty cool pick that they. I don't know if Bada can snowball on this hero this game. Because damage the first 30 minutes, or you just complete. Yeah, the Astral Imprisonment is going to be.
Keep yourself in place. So use.
How important are duels this game?
Not really important. They want to start the fight. I don't think they primarily picked it to fill that.
Perhaps here, but a lot of damage being applied to Young 11. So both carries dead. Pale will spell the doom. Void is just. I mean,
and this lane is only going to get harder. Like shit lane anymore. Realistically, like they should get 2 kills on the supports. At this point, just 1 more CS should do it. A really good matchup for Sniper. Like there's action matchup by a little bit, and he definitely beats only good core matchups for this game in my opinion. From their perspective, this might be the best laning they got. From
Puppy level 2. Oh, you're right. I didn't even realize that. Yapsor still might be enough to actually get the kill. Double raising enough damage here. Has to time walk. this lane, or
I don't think they
around?
can play the lane anymore. The goal for them should be to hard for them to kill. By the way, their lane is really bad at killing. The gaming are still choosing to stay.
Missile to follow. Impale. So Lan M.
Oh, very nice.
Shrapnel mid 1. Able to get quite low. Puppy has Howl. Is that a
rotation? That went better for Vici than I thought it would. Oh, this is unfavorable for him, obviously. He's playing readjusts his laning. But great play from Lan M there. He didn't get double raced by Ace. He just ran straight. Vici more or less played that situation perfectly.
Versus the sniper who's originally there.
Don't think you can really expect it. The question once again is if it had
coming, can they layer it? Indeed, they
did it in the end, but I think Void was dead anyway. Fish
doesn't. We'll be going for the phase boots. I mean, are you for each respective team? Because in the past, I want to say 6 months, where
and Legion Commander to do some physical damage. Anything, I think the Void goes full 11 and get a Blink Dagger in this game. They need someone but have very limited mobility and very limited Astral, and the Deuce has Mana Shield, but their lane was way more mobile and faster bursts in the Chrono getting out here in order for these slower here. So treads into Blink, then they're not going to.
He might end up being the sacrifice. TP's coming in to that very same Chronos. Here comes the Earth Spike, Faceless Void. They feel very confident diving this tower. Another lot of damage for this.
This is a bit
at the back, knowing that mid 1 is here.
Time walk. I've seen a lot of players in the early game having time walk on, knowing that 5 seconds later you can actually distance. He's committed. He's going to die. If I'd like to see a value point in Dilation sometime soon. Dilation is a really good.
How is it this game specifically, though?
So on this 12
raises, I guess.
Raising a drum build-up actually for me.
Wait,
so
how does that work? That's really good then. Yeah. We see Secret start to aggress a little bit. We're going to see quite low. He's going to be burnt to a crisp if he's not to save his life at the very least. Still is
bad gains in general and good base stats. So in Stolen, he did not die to that sanity. He's put into account. It's not the most into Legion.
Because of the counters in place.
This is they got through the first 11 minutes without losing. They're even going to go Midas. High hopes for Vici Gaming. They're late game. Then the Medusa and the OD both better than expected. Actually, they're not that they're afloat. I thought they would be loot. Yeah, I think they're good. I thought they were going to win it pretty fast.
The dodge, very cheap. He can just buy it right now.
He's had the gold for the Midas for a while. Or maybe he forgot his gold. Cool.
Maybe. Yapsor going back now. Manus, I assume, is going to get a Hurricane Pike. See the Hurricane Pike, or we're going to see
like not going that even the Mask of Madness into a damage item. So straight in this game, I don't know if it's Void
lane. We have the swap for Fada. Looks like they probably would get the kill with the Overwhelm. But here comes the Naga Siren. Oh, technically speaking, he gets ensnared, does Yapsor. And Yapsor plus Fada going straight for Blink, as we would have got
a kill, but not the dual damage. They'll probably.
Blink is one of the more infuriating. Probably.
It's very satisfying to you.
Not only that, but you know you can patent that.
Where I heard it.
Mental, it seems. That would be the more typical ramp up kind of.
I think most Shrapnel is a great spell, obviously, so CDR is also. I think, like, just mathematically, if that. It's pretty
only
solid.
Time will tell. And basically, the only catch is OD takes an Assassinate to the back of the head.
Yeah, they haven't taken a tower yet. Well, now mid tower got denied, so now they got their first Shadow Blade. Don't see that with the right-click build, so he will not be going. Heals is the pub build.
This goes back to Dota. It was a good game with a
Lothar's Edge back in the day. Remember when
just
Dust was introduced, actually.
I mean, pretty new.
6 points.
That's like 8. They do. Oh, he's barely overwhelming odds. Magic Missile now, Absorb. Trying to drain some mana. Fata.
But it's a support for support. Rounds expended from either team except the swap. Vici Gaming are still going to take this. Sniper should have actually gone Diffusal this game. Hard to use the active. Pretty sure it is. With killing Medusa, it's the best item he can. I think the item is nice against Void too, just because his mana.
He wants to initiate. There is a sentry close.
It worked out.
Now he's on
Shadow Blade.
So I didn't want to risk it. There's a sentry there.
Yeah, they're not going to proceed here.
See the Requiem come into play, but Ace right now top of the net worth as far as Vici's concerned, but we're on Daedalus watch. Initiation possibilities. If you go Blink Dagger, do you?
Because he doesn't need to.
Because he has always
optional Vlads along the way. Extra armor for his Medusa as well. We didn't talk about ODs. It in the past was very common.
Maybe.
Straight up, which is more very defensive approach here. He's scared of just choice. This is a lesson I feel like everyone's like, oh, I can just fight, but if you're inefficient for what you pay. That's a pretty long cooldown level 1. Even sustain his aura. Like, considering he was in the safe lane and had a free start in the other proc, he TP's
all good. Oh, any of these off for Fada.
Close call on the scope. Fine, Young 11. Vici just...
Is there smoke here? Doesn't look like it. It's really hard.
This
is to find a way. Paparazzi. He gets a couple essence.
Because we're still 8 ends. Oh, it's one of the few spells in Dota that's still true random, but I could be wrong. Pseudo random now. It was true random for. Alright, as expected.
This build.
Can't banish yourself in BKB.
No, he does that. He'll disable essence aura, and then or you can just buy an int item, and then you counter the counter. You
it's kind of worrying that you even.
Like,
it's good to think creatively.
Is there a this really bad one so Cinnering gets mad at? Okay, I'll try better. Nice swap. He's gonna dodge this. Very close, and Fada doesn't have blink dagger or anything like that. So 2 for 2. Great.
Sif didn't manage to join the fight in time. He was cleared up a wave, did a bit of damage to. What was Stone Gaze? Damn, this Ori is going to keep racking up the gold.
Song is there to counter. Will they be able to?
Now he tread swapped.
Needs to stand next to OD, and it's going to be fine. He has a talent to increase. Not this game. Buy those items to increase your move.
It's a the build up on that hero quite a bit. No, I don't.
Fada, they actually are going to get a duel here. What happens when there's no Naga or OD? And they're going to pound upon that tier 1. It's insane. I mean, he doesn't really have. Still
sorry,
really
I'm out of position. Yap, sorry. Think on Yap.
They have a great relationship. I'm sure they
don't want a Chrono support.
He's
going.
Every Chrono is
Did
very
you say
important.
He's going?
Oh yeah.
So it's backline, get a blink Chrono in the right time. What else? Because honestly, apart from a Chrono, doesn't have any damage.
Well, who do you link? Like OD can technically banish himself.
He can.
Case right or OD.
That he would link in.
Very
can't get dueled while he's split pushing when he gets the link. Mana Drain, Hex, Impale, a free Roche.
They have an idea. The song is up.
Up with 2. That's a free Chrono.
Down. The BKB is popped. We'll see if it actually matters. And Vengeful Spirit drop to the deck. Nice Gotti keeping him at bay, kiting him. They're going to completely surround him. Destroyed. Mid 1 though. Plus a couple right clicks will take down the after a Roche fight, and they lose it.
Yep. Considering that they just lost a good outcome, that they get rid of the Aegis and get 4 kills, we're a bit too clumped at bottom with the ward that they have around. If those two, if he gets 2 in the song and they're not close together, so they can't Chrono, what happens. But
yeah, they have that one save. They just don't have. Yeah, it's not going to be enough to.
Wait for Fozzie. Pretty well. Leverage the split shot of Medusa.
That's not that. That's pretty good. It's rough fires. Yeah. This Scotty going to work, and we'll see where he goes from there. Or even if you can somehow sniper.
Yeah, that would be good. I like the acts.
Ags himself. It's a little strange.
This could have been an easy Chrono.
Oh, did they just dust?
So this is a tricky situation for Secret, right?
Yeah, but nope. Astral Prism keeping this time. Paparazzi, very easy. He's going to be living through this engagement.
He just
they're going to focus on the Chronosphere. That's not exactly what was planned, but they're going to. Afterwards, a Sandy's. And this is a tier 2 tower, if not more. This,
the guy who is.
Oh, that Shadow Blade.
He still doesn't have any mana. He's actually stuck. Well, he still needs to wait a bit. He's going to get some.
He dropped the Blade Mail. And
I don't know if the creep wave could have been here any faster. Generally, you want to start hitting these objectives.
Very low on mana. Important for LC to get nerd.
Yeah, I don't. There's these 2 counters to duel. One needs to be kept in check. He dueled probably Secrets. Like I like the idea for Team Secret, but and you need to remember because if they just sit around and wait, even though they have.
Are you serious? That's impressive. I'm impressed. Either way, the 32-year-old is probably 20.
Quick 4 staffs.
I feel like I should be put in a retirement home.
Not a couple years.
Thanks.
That's the right approach. I don't think he can buy like a Blink Dagger and be good. One is this like more spell-based damage item, and he runs in the backline and tries to like. Yeah. I think in this game, so the last core kind of needs to be able to kill. So I don't. I think
for sure. I mean, I feel like
he's changing it.
Stuck in Chronosphere, it's not like he can get if somebody else has just more defensive, perhaps. But he is going Hurricane Pike, so that Chronosphere, it's going to be. Most people, I think, take 25%.
I think backtrack's still better.
Still better.
That is just like generally it structured and how heroes are placed go in together, and then if they're too close, regular Chrono. You know what I mean? It's like it's what it might do sometimes, getting a bit like next level now almost.
Holy jeez.
Yeah.
Split shot
That's
using Modify.
They dueled Medusa with Blade Mail on.
Almost lost his mana. Yeah.
He's still
much faster.
And he's bottom.
Do this. Now. Ori doesn't have his ultimate, of course. We'll see OD able to save himself temporarily with the, but don't think that would have been a kill.
late
and
game,
this OD, your best case scenario is just Sniper is somehow attacking for 15 seconds.
No, he had it for a while.
Okay. Does it add? Okay.
Or he was making his way down there for some reason.
Of course,
this Medusa's,
I think compared to Secret. In fact, they
solo. Assault game.
Aegis cheats.
Yeah, they have to make this, by the way. They're very good at sneaking. They just do it enough times that sometimes it works.
Percentage-wise, Secret's the best.
The reason I what position they're in, like, this is, they go for a risky play that could move.
At
the
what
first,
point?
The first roach they got as well got clipped on the way out by the song.
They're going to turn it off here in a second as the Colt anticlimactic there, but
well played.
Great BKBs do we have. They have to get the BKBs as long as there's not a Lincoln Sphere applied. Great, I'm glad I saw it. Thanks for hyping.
Times you clicked your mouse. Like,
exactly.
If he reacts fast, it's for Secret. It's very minor.
Ancient farming. And Sniper with the A. Safe. Like, at one point, do you not save for buy? If it's a full item.
Yeah, I think so. If it's item here. Because it's like buy back, and then it's going to turn the game around. But what Cheese and Aegis, so they're feeling very calm. Maybe a little bit of the opposite as well, that they want to jump on them. And then even if this is a trading, you can't make it over and get an objective with the
split shot target ever picked up? In theory, it's great if you don't have a Scotty.
Like, I would rather have split shot, use his modifiers, and get him.
Yapsor's going to jump in on Fen swap. Mid one. Trying to TP out, but there's Yapsor with the cancel. They're going to find Fenrir and midway this time window.
Yeah, if they don't have their wards, they smoked in and look for kills in their ward. Get a core kill, of course, and at this point, and I believe they will in racks.
25 attack ranges if you need that. Getting thrown.
6 shrapnel charges is so good. Shrapnels, you can plaster bigger AoE talent. You can cover like twice.
I'm gonna say. Oh, mid whoa here.
I thought they both piked each other.
Maybe. Time this. It's gonna be a little gone. Yeah, one of them is dual damage finally goes the way. Requiem of Souls, but he's surrounded by enemies.
Oh, that was not a good chrono, but it didn't matter. We're supposed to kill a sniper. He chronoed Medusa and not the greatest chrono. Still.
Fata.
Oh, he had 5 seconds. Else he would have killed him.
No. And Viper, nothing. So this
I think Vici are gonna back off.
They have the game.
I
mean, his Requiem looks
wait,
like Fata.
I feel like this is the same thing again. Why?
So they're gonna give up 2 racks.
The range. Just take
looks like Fata's still on. Look at this go. Like if people don't know,
yes,
right over those 7 seconds, a jug ward on.
But Vici not, or any chance rather, maxed out at this point.
That's not yet. Can you replace anything?
You might.
You can replace your boots for Agent, and then Refresher. It's ugly. She's
so 8-second hard lockdown, except.
But the problem is
in the door,
though. So that's good.
Because of the Legion. So
that started the conversation.
Huh? What I did say, what I said was that the Legion Ags has been through like able to be locked down.
That's correct.
That's the
before you use that, but the main count.
And the song is.
That's true.
So
that's true.
He can when he has the Ags sleep. We got ourselves.
All right, we're gonna have a big.
Look at what he used it for. He chronoed his team. That was flat out objective.
Tournament there is. Here comes the duel. There's the Astro duel time though. Mid one taking. Oh my God, Yapsor. 2 for 1 right now. The swap keeping. As Vici Gaming will go. How much does it matter when there's a wave up here?
Top.
So 5. Oh my God, he's so close to the 9. I know a lot of people who think they stack actually. Because
you just put 9 shrapnel stack.
I
have like 500 a second team. And then you just shrapnel. That's true.
You think? Let's say he has infinite gold right now. Actual damage at this point, maybe. With a double damage. That's 74 dual damage. So
again, they're getting it again, man.
I mean, maybe full duel. Are we gonna see it? That's.
What's that?
So
I like it on the Lion though. I think this is the best. That was a creep wave.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs 900. He has 900.
Yeah, but he has this skill, so I think he's friend.
Multi-mana drain?
Yes, but that's awesome.
Why did he take that?
That's awesome.
1 point at least.
If you don't target it.
I seem to remember.
I don't think he's trying to counter the position 5. That's getting caught out. Fata jumps in, not able to get the duel off. And this is pretty scary.
Teams actually. Like when you get this late into the game, kept it.
Okay.
It's like 10 if the team that's behind on gold makes the jump.
From Sniper.
Fata needs to heal, or the chrono, right? The chrono would
just to be able to
that
say
will
he did that.
That's a given. That's why I'm not.
Any other deals, unfortunately.
He's trying to just outrange the Medusa. I think this is pretty rare. Actually, struggles he has. For that, yeah.
I mean, both of these seem really damaged.
Yeah, also, if you get like half HP, it has some utility.
Oh boy, Dave.
That's the biggest kill they can get.
And that's in favor of Vici. That's a double buyback. We have a duel being applied to Ancient buyback for him. 127. And And this is a dieback onto Puppey. Looks like they're going to be third place.
They would be facing...
I cannot picture a world where I made the rules and I forgot. I keep forgetting them. Tier 3 tower down, and this is going to be
expectable for OG to pick Empire.
Most likely, yes. Matchup. And Fada is actually going to get this kill. Yeah, he still has buyback, 98 seconds as he can. Delicious. I can't get in range because it's way too dual for 15 seconds. It's going to be close. Nope. Charges about now. Ace pops the BKB. And the second fashion way. Objective base game. Ori pops the ult. And 54 minutes.
Greedy. I didn't think it was going to work out this well for them. Like, they broke even, which I think age, and they're still doing well on farm. So this game is that they aggroed the Shadow Field, just protect their OD in the safe lane, and their Medune force behind Secret's ability to take impact. So,
even though stream's going to be off here soon, see if anybody switches it up. But
Mineski picking Pain, G, and Vici Games. Yes.
Sounds like a commercial. We're going to panel. Quick commercial.
Welcome back. Has come to a close. We finished off our matchup just about an hour and a half ago.
Bit of an upset. A lot of people thought Secret. I was not really confident with their draft. Really sloppy, but all of a sudden, it's like, because it was like once the Scott, so he basically always had to run away, but he trained Pike.
The no mobility, voids jumping at him. Their Hurricane Pike was steadless, right? It seemed like such an undervalue. The random draft aspect like happens draft.
I want the Chinese pub scene does affect how people generally try to stick to their actual C or kind of this 1v9 mentality. I think they play this game really well. We all gave the sniper usually he's kind of a snowball hero. You want both vision and anticipating these rotations, and ultimately as things progress, a lot of defensive itemization to stay alive off, and you saw that kind of being the case.
It was very late in the game. I'm looking at his items and I'm like kind of snowballed. And then on the...
I think a lot of the reason that happened was because they had to spend a lot of time protecting Shadow Fiend there. And if they're always there, that means that your carry doesn't... By the time VG Gaming moved around, he can't still get levels, and completely changes. Because 1 or 2 to level 6 at that point. So he didn't have the level...
A very difficult Legion command. But overall, VG Gaming looked very, very strong.
Here we go. Bump it up. Group Horde over here. Quick recap. VG second and top seed will be... Can we jump over to the other group? Third, EG able to sneak out seconds earlier in match 2, and top seed will go. Overall thoughts, bracket, we'll be posting that on social media. Thoughts about how the groups turned out, boys? What do we think?
Versus OG getting second, but I think them getting second would have sounded...
Impressed with Mineski. I think they're maybe... Mineski's just...
How long until Mineski starts getting direct in come from? They just won their group. Like they've been...
It was like one of the first majors or minors of the year.
Not surprising, but still good to see some consistency. Brings us to the conclusion of day 1 standard time. That's the match start. We'll have a schedule, but still a lot of good Dota down. If you've already bought a ticket and you're watching, we'll see you tomorrow.
Woohoo!